Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, I want to show you very specifically how fasting can boost your moods, because there's a neurochemical change that's happening in your body when you fast. It's not only helping you lose weight, but it's repairing the brain and elevating your mental health. And I want to show you why.
Pioneer in the fasting
Do a long fast one day, your blood sugar going up and down.
We're in it together.
Okay, so this is Fast Training Week. If you're new to my channel, you don't know what that is, we take 5 days out of the month, every month, and we practice different fasts. So this month, we're practicing the 48-hour fast, which if you're not familiar with the benefits of that, go back and watch the video I did on the benefits of a 48-hour fast. So I break it down. What I want you to know is, for this video, is that when you're fasting, the longer you fast, the more repair happens. And it happens to your neurochemical system. So you get neurotransmitters that are upregulated, you get receptor sites, new receptor sites that form. We talked about that on the last video. You repair neurons in the brain. There's so much magic happening, and the longer you fast, you are turning on the repair system. So we like 48 hours to think about it as the 48-hour fast is repairing the brain so that you can have better mental health. Just like the 13-hour fast is amazing for learning how to get into ketosis and starting to get your body, the system that burns fat, repairing that system. 17-hour fast is really great. I love the 17-hour fast. Hits autophagy for detoxing old cells out. We love 36 hours for repairing your fat burning system, but the 48-hour fast is all about the brain. It's all about mental health. And here's why it works. So when we are looking at different neurotransmitters, we have to realize, in different reactions to fasting, we have to realize that each repair of these neurotransmitters is creating a different response for you, for your brain. So let me explain myself. Ketones. Ketones are not a neurotransmitter, but they are made when we fast. The body burns fat, and the byproduct of that burning is something called a ketone. The longer you fast, the more ketones go up. When ketones go up, so does a neurotransmitter called GABA. And GABA is the calming neurotransmitter. So when we are fasting, even at these lower hours, you don't always have to go to 48 to get the ketones. Some of you are getting it at 13. But the minute ketones come on the scene, so does GABA, and it calms you. Try having a conversation with anybody who's been in a 3 to 5 day water fast, and you will see that they are zenned out. And largely that's because those ketones are kicking in, creating more of a GABA response. Typically what we see from looking at hundreds of thousands of people fasting is it takes about at least 17 hours to get some ketones that will release GABA, but some of you who are experienced are getting it as little as 13. So that's the calming neurotransmitter that will boost your moods. Then we have dopamine. So dopamine is joy, motivation, and drive. I just did a video on the 48-hour fast. You reset dopamine at 48 hours. You don't get the dopamine reset in these early ones as much. You gotta go to 48 hours. So if you know that you're a dopamine addicted, which no judgment here. I am definitely a dopamine addicted human, and I've been working on this. But when you are not experiencing joy in life, or you need that bigger and bigger moment to get to that joyful time, then you've got to start to look at throwing in a 48-hour fast. Once a month, you could do it once a quarter, but when we want to improve dopamine, we go 48 hours. Okay, now this is key. This is key for you dopamine addicts out there. So when you get the thing you've been chasing, so let's say it's a performance an athletic performance, and you win, and you're like, the dopamine high is real. In that moment, what your body wants to do, or what it should naturally do, is it should switch from dopamine to serotonin. So you get the dopamine high, you feel amazing, and then serotonin should come in. Serotonin is what makes you feel like, yes, I did a really good job. I'll tell you, a personal win for me right now is I just got Fast Like a Girl back from Hay House. I'm putting the final edits on it, and I'm reading it, and I'm so ridiculously happy with how this book has turned out. I can't wait for you all to get it. You can pre-order it right now on Amazon, by the way. It's the first go-to manual on fasting for women. But I tell you that to say, when I turned the manuscript in, there was a dopamine high. There was like a, whoo, that feels amazing. Now that I'm going back and looking at this thing I created, I'm having a serotonin reaction, which is like a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling of a job well done. So when we go back to that idea of like a big event, like a competition that you win, the dopamine is high, but then we want to switch over to serotonin for the satisfaction. Now, what's interesting with serotonin is that serotonin should kick in even when you're looking at your phone all day long and you're like addicted to that phone and you get the bing, the dings and the likes from social media. That's all dopamine. But you've got to have some serotonin moments. You've got to make some serotonin to be able to feel satisfied from that. I don't know about you, but there's too much dopamine in the phone, not enough serotonin. And so we want to make sure we're building serotonin through fasting, but that you're also doing some activities that build serotonin that I'll talk about in a moment. So serotonin, all made in the gut. Serotonin is your satisfaction, your focus, and your calming hormone. And it comes onto the scene after dopamine, and it tells you, job well done. You did a good job. And we can reboot the serotonin system by rebooting our gastrointestinal microbiome, and that happens at 24 hours. So throw in, if you know you're struggling with satisfaction, you feel like you're dopamine addicted, and you're never getting that sense of like job well done, or you're never feeling quite content, it's time to look at serotonin. And we can do that by throwing in a 24-hour fast. In that scenario, I would throw in a 24-hour fast at least once a week. Now, here's how you can put this all together. How about you use some of the variations that I talk about where 5 days a week, you go into the fast, you do a 17-hour fast, and that 17-hour fast primes the ketogenic fat-burning system, gives you more ketones, gives you GABA so you can be calm. Do that 5 days a week. Then 1 day a week, we do a longer fast. We do 24-hour fasts, and that's going to repair the gastrointestinal microbiome, and it's going to help you make more serotonin so you can feel more satisfied. And then 1 day a week, as you all know, I say don't fast so we can mimic our primal ancestors in their feast-famine cycling and we never get stuck. Now, with the dopamine fast, throw in once a month. If you're really depressed, throw in once a month, a 48-hour fast to reset that dopamine system, or once a quarter. So it's a little bit like juggling, we're throwing one ball up and we're using that tool for right now, and then that comes down and we throw another ball up, we use that tool. But when it comes to moods, these are your three tools. Let's get some ketones for calm. Let's go into the longer 48-hour fast to reset the dopamine pathways, and let's work on our gut so that we can make sure we're making enough serotonin for satisfaction. And last thing I'll tell you on serotonin is you can start to build serotonin a little bit more by being patient. So looking at activities that are going to take a little longer to do, that starts to prime the serotonin system. Whereas dopamine is your addiction. It is give it to me quick, give it to me big, and you have that high. Serotonin says, let's be slow and methodical and patient, and you will be satisfied. Dopamine says, no, give it to me all at once, and I will be happy. They both right. They both have some benefit in the brain, but we want to balance them. So there you go. I've never done a video like this where I just lay out all these neurotransmitters for moods. So let me know if it's helpful. It is fast training week. We are practicing the 48-hour fast. If you're doing the 48-hour fast with me, just put it in the comments. And as always, we're a community. Put in the comments if you are noticing changes with your mental health as you're putting these three into play. You are a miracle. You are meant to be joyful. You are meant to light up this world. The world needs you to be in your highest and best self, your best place. When you're happy, everybody around you is happy. So happiness is truly an inside job. The more we work with the chemistry in the brain through a free tool like fasting, the more we can start to feel joy in our life, and that will ooze out into the rest of the world. And really what the world needs right now is for you to be joyful, because when joyful people surround this planet, it just becomes contagious. So as always, I hope that helps.